Hey guys, RP here from Crypto Clarity, and today I want to talk about Crypto20 coin, which is an index fund, and I made an extensive research on it and I have a lot of talk about, so let's jump right into it. As you can see, this will be the roadmap of the presentation. I will start with the verdict because your time is important and I want to value it, so I will start with my conclusions and after that I will expand on those conclusions. So let's start. The verdict would be that the fees are goddamn high and they are hidden, and that's a big thing. I realized that there's like actually a 15% one-time fee and there's a 0.2% weekly fee with your investment there, and that's just a huge amount of money, and I think that that's like retarded. You will realize what I'm talking about later if you keep on watching. There's a big human element of risk too, because employees will handle cold wallets with your money on it, with the Crypto20 investment fund on it, and that's a problem too. But on the other hand, it's a positive that if you want the easy and fast investment method into a whole lot of cryptocurrencies with no other management required, then it may be good for you. But on the other hand, of course, you save that 15% of a fee if you just create your own portfolio and manage your own portfolio, which is quite a lot of money. The website is put together incredibly well, I have to say that, and the promise of annual reports is kind of important and pretty sweet in my opinion. So this was the verdict, and let's now dive into the actual topics and what do we expect from the project at all. Also, let's talk about the project in detail. Okay, so what is this? This is basically an ERC20 token on the Ethereum blockchain, and it is basically an index fund for cryptos. There are 20 cryptocurrencies covered, and the actual cryptocurrencies are really bought and managed. This was like a thing which wasn't clear to me. They are actually bought on exchanges and they are actually stored. So the cryptocurrencies are real. This is not just a smart contract on Ethereum which tracks the actual price of the currency, and you can get your money out by getting Ether. So like Prism. The portfolio is rebalanced weekly, which is kind of cool, and the C20 Crypto20 tokens will be tradable on January 20 to 22nd, or they will be executable for Ether, so you can actually turn in the smart contract on C20 and basically you will get the Ether equivalent of the currency. The portfolio fund is set. That's very important too. You might imagine that the price of one E20 token is $1 now, but if it rises to 10, then for some reason they will invest those extra 900% of money into the portfolio itself. No, like the portfolio's value will rise, but there will be no additional money added to the portfolio, even if the price of the token rises. And the goddamn high fees are there, and we will talk about this in detail later. So why am I making this video? Well, it's kind of recent. I mean, it's about to hit the exchanges, and that's kind of cool. Also, it performed really well so far. So here's like a report about the performance of it. So while the total market cap of the cryptocurrencies increased in with like 70%, the Crypto20 index increased by 415%, and that's kind of cool. It outperformed the market by 46%. And how and why did this happen? Is it because the index fund is so good? Well, no, I think that it's because, first of all, the Bitcoin didn't really perform so well, and the altcoins performed really well, so it basically just got in that sweet spot of those 20 coins, and basically it was just a lucky situation that it just performed this well, because the top 20 coins got an increase in value a lot more than, for instance, Bitcoin or anything else. Yep. So let's move on. And the other thing is that I noticed some important problems which I want to share with you because I think that they're really important. And before you invest, either if you decide to invest or not, the problems are there and I want you to know about them. Alright, so let's talk about the white paper. I went through the whole white paper from the beginning to the end. I read every single word, and I basically I'm here basically to save time for you and so you don't have to bother about the white paper. So let's talk about the start for real quick. I don't really want to have so much time on this. it was basically the first 2 pages were basically just the lawyer stuff, and it basically cleaned the whole Crypto20 team of any kind of responsibility in any kind of manner. And the interesting things were that it was kind of weird to see this at the beginning, because usually you don't see this at the beginning, you see it at the end, but it's kind of fair because, you know, you kind of see some sort of like transparency going on when you see like the small lettered text in a contract, for instance, at the beginning of the page and not at the end. So basically the makers of the white paper wanted you to read this, and that's the important thing, I think. So conclusions about that part: no investors are allowed from the US or South Africa or the Cayman Islands. This is basically the text which said that. Legally, the white paper can be bullshit, and what I mean by that is there's this clause which states that everything regarding the actual like purchase of the C20 tokens is tied to the terms and conditions, which is not this document. So anything stated in the white paper can be bullshit, and still they cannot be legally attacked because of this little clause which states that the terms and conditions are the important thing and not the white paper, which is kind of interesting. I don't think it's likely to happen, but you know, it's noteworthy. And what is disgusting, and now we're getting into the bread and the butter of the topic. So they go on and on in the white paper over several pages that the fees are just so important when it comes to an index fund. And you know, like, we are able to offer the lowest fees in the industry. One reason why index funds outperform actively managed funds is due to their low annual fees. Crypto20 cuts out the middleman, the platform, and is thus able to offer significantly lower fees. And like stuff like this. There are no legacy banking fees or expensive fund managers. Well, it turns out that fund managers are fucking expensive, for real. And, you know, like this whole part, like low fee funds benefits. And then, you know, like they just say that it's so important to have like a low fee and stuff like that. And then here's like the free fee breakdown, and it's actually not listed that you basically lose 13% of your money when you invest because of the ICO, how it's structured. So I wrote it there by hand, minus 13% for fun, huh? So this is kind of disgusting in my opinion. And yet they milk you hard. They say all this shit and they don't say you anything else. And the hidden detail and the thing which you don't really realize probably is that the C20 token distribution looks like this. So basically 7 like this equals like 13% stuff, which is basically unnecessary, but because of this the C20 team like basically forges or makes 13% more coins than what you actually receive. So as you can see here, they make in total, if the hard cap is reached, 86 million coins, but the available coins for purchase is only 75 million. And this is where the catch is. So they basically inflate your coins, and this is the fee, the hidden fee, because you cannot really... It is stated here, but it is not stated here as a fee. It is stated here as something which doesn't really matter in terms of profitability, but it does, because the more coins there are, the less of a percentage your coins make out of the total. And I will break it down a bit more if you don't understand it still, but that is a 13% effective fee. And you know, like, this wouldn't even be a problem if they would state it anywhere that this is like happening, and it's not just like hidden in the like ICO, like the breakdown kind of thing. And this is kind of annoying, especially because they talk so much about fees, like how important their lowness is. So it will be probably profitable even with this high fee. Like, you know how the crypto markets move nowadays, you know the incredible gains what are happening, like with every kind of coin, with every kind of investment. So it will be profitable even with this huge fee. But then again, just ask yourself, like, if you would make the same portfolio and you would make the same rebalance with your own money, you would basically save 15% of your own money, and that's a lot of money. So just think about that. So yeah, it's just disgusting. It's just like preaching over and over again about the importance of fees, and then it charges 15%. It's just ridiculous. And in case you still don't think that it's basically a fee for you that it's minted, I mean, these extra coins are made. Let me give you an actual example. So for instance, let's say that I make a coin for you, okay? You invest $1,000 to me and I print 1,000 coins to you. And from those $1,000, I buy cryptocurrencies, and this will be the Crypto Clarity Fund. What an incredible name. But I'm the ICO guy, I'm the one who makes this, and I'm the one who manages this, and because of that I will print 20% of the coins for myself too. So now where are we standing? You give me $1,000, I mint 1,000 coins for you, I mint 200 coins for myself, and I put in the $1,000 in the actual investment fund. So guess what? I just stole $200 for you, or not stole, but basically that's the fee which I take for using your money, because my 200 coins is actually equal not to 200 but to like 180 something or 170 something of dollars. So that is what I mean. This is what is happening right here, and that's why it sucks. So let's see what other alternatives do we have. Let's look at Prism, for instance, which is an exactly the same similar system, only it's only working on the blockchain. They don't actually own the cryptocurrencies. You can just invest in the cryptos in their price basically, and the price is being followed, and you can cash out in Ether whenever you want, and you don't actually own the cryptocurrency. You just own a smart contract, and you can, you know, have an investment fund, a combined investment fund like this. And I've made a video about this, so you can see it there if you want, and I highly encourage you to check this out. So the fees there are actually a 2.4% fee when you close the account, and kind of that's it. You have to pay for gas when you open the account, but that's it. And there's a 0.5% tribulance fee, but if you don't tribulance, then it's only a 2.4% one-time fee to invest, and it's basically the same thing as the Crypto20 one, only you have to, you know, choose your own percentages. That's the only difference mainly. And there's no rebalancing. That's the big difference. So the real question is, like, is a weekly rebalance worth 12.6% of your money? Is it worth it? And that's the main question. And yeah, I'm not sure that my money is worth, I mean, the rebalancing worth 12.6% of my money. What you have to realize is this is not a traditional ICO. So C20 tokens have value inherently because they have a cryptocurrency backed kind of thing going on. They have the index fund going on for them. They have the smart contract with what you can liquefy the tokens instantly if you want. So they have a starting value. In normal ICOs, the value of the actual coin is close to zero at the beginning because nobody uses them, because the actual like implication of the coins is not done yet. So the actual creators of the coin are not owning basically money by having coins at the beginning, or not that much money, and they're motivated to work on the project. And basically the money got from the project, I mean from the investors, is actually used on the project to acquire assets on the project. Here the money is used to buy cryptocurrencies, and by creating 13% extra coins, that is basically inflated by 13%. So yeah, that's the problem. Yes, the other thing is that the C20 tokens value, I don't think that it will increase by a huge amount, like 20x or something like this, without the market cap actually increasing by 20x of the first 20 coins. The C20 tokens will closely resemble the value of the market caps from the start of the actual trading and from the start of the actual ICO, because you basically buy convenience, but that's the only thing what you buy, and convenience cannot be valued for more than 1 or 2 times maximum the actual token value. And if I see anything different, then that will be totally crazy, because I don't think that this will happen. 30% extra coins is 13% less share for your actual cryptos, and it's basically 30% less money in your pockets. So you have to understand this. I'm saying this so often because you have to understand this. The other point, which is kind of fucked up in my opinion, I'm sorry to swear so much, but this is kind of annoying to me. So the C20 tokens, I mean the C20 employees will access cold wallets worth millions of dollars regularly. And this is stated right here. So basically sometimes the cold sometimes rebalancing will require to access cold wallets where most of the money is spent, and basically some employee or some person in the Crypto20 like company, or how should I call this, will access those funds. And I'm sure that nothing bad can happen from this. I mean, why would it happen? I mean, a random person which you don't know will access your money, basically cryptocurrencies which are completely anonymous and can be transferred anywhere in the world and nobody will know where it is. Well, they just access that. Yeah. And also cryptos will be held, a kind of biggish percentage of the whole portfolio in Crypto20 will be held for an average 24 hours per week on exchanges. And this is stated right here. So basically they will transfer huge amounts of cryptocurrencies from your portfolio onto exchanges for 24 hours on average per week. And I'm sure that nothing bad can happen from this. Nothing bad ever happened from storing huge amounts of wealth on exchanges, right? Yeah, like let's not mention these 36 Bitcoin exchanges that are no longer with us. Like for instance these. So yeah, nothing bad can happen, right? Wrong. To be serious, like this is a huge security flaw. These two things are huge security flaws, and I would think twice before investing in this because I'm not sure that this is a good idea. So this was my review, and I hope it was useful for you. As a conclusion, let's summarize what did we learn. So yeah, maybe I'm bashing Crypto20 too hard. Yeah, I was kind of judgmental with this whole thing, but then again I think that the fees are not described as accurately as they should be, and I think the fees are higher than they should be when it comes to an index fund. Also, the transparency was questionable when they were talking about low fees for so long and then they put in a hidden fee. Like this is just something that baffles my mind. So you may say that a 15% fee is okay, but no, it's not. Like for a traditional index fund, it is not okay to pay 15% in fees. The regular cold wallet access by employees is another problematic thing, and it's a huge security threat. You may see that that's fine too, but no, like you should control your own cryptocurrency in general because that's the safest option. The website is put together on the other hand very well. I think it's a very professional website and I think that it will actually work. Also, I think that this portfolio thing will be profitable even with these bullshit kind of things because cryptocurrencies are just flying nowadays, and you know, Crypto20 will be a part of that. But then again, think about the fees and think about how much could you have without the actual fees if you would invest by yourself. So this was my review on Crypto20. I hope you liked it. It was a bit negative, but then again, if something is bad in my opinion, then I will not talk positive things about it. I think on YouTube many reviewers actually just talk about the positives and never about the negatives, and I think that just gives a false picture about the coin and a false picture about cryptocurrencies in general. So I will try to be as honest as possible. I actually own some Crypto20 because I tried it, and you know, I'm bashing it here, so I'm trying to be just an objective guy. So yeah, if you liked it, then you can throw a like. If you would like to see more of these videos, then you can press the subscribe button, and see you in my next video. Cheers.